Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to What's That Anime. You guys have absolutely been destroying the support on each week of each episode. You guys have absolutely destroying the support, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. Honestly, it makes me so happy to be bringing you guys What's That Anime, because you guys absolutely love it, and I'm so happy, you know, that we can have a series that everyone on the channel can enjoy, like really enjoy each week. It really does mean a lot, so I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in each week to watch What's That Anime. So, last week we had a nice No Game No Life review, episode 1. You guys absolutely love No Game No Life, and like I said, I absolutely loved it. So today, what we're going to be going ahead and doing is going to review Tokyo Ghoul. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this anime. If you haven't, season 2 of this anime is just recently finished, so, you know, if you're one of those people that doesn't like to wait for anime to come out each week, you can watch the first series now and you can watch the second series too. I'll put links down below in the description to where you can go ahead and find it. But Tokyo Ghoul, now, I give this a nice rating to we have on what actually happens in this anime. It's a decent anime. You know, I enjoyed the first and second series. Second series kind of kicked off slow for me, but we're not here to review the second series. We're here to review the first episode of Tokyo Ghoul. So pretty much Tokyo Ghoul, it's one of those animes where the first episode you either hate it or you either love it. That's what I mean. I've recommended this anime to so many people, and they're like, after watching the first episode, they're like, eh, and other people are like, yes, I love this, and it's one of those animes, so I'll see what you guys think, so, but yeah, thank you again for destroying the support. If you could go ahead and drop a like, it would be greatly appreciated. If you missed week 2 and week 1 of What's That Anime, there is a playlist link down below in the description. Go ahead and check it out so you're up to date on what we're doing here, so you basically know what this series is all about. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into week 3 of What's That Anime. Okay, so the first episode, like the first scene, it like brings you straight into like a little bit of a weird scenario where it's giving you a nice shot of Tokyo. You know, everything's looking nice. It's telling you about the CCG. We'll talk about those later. But then the next thing you know, this girl just comes up to the screen. It's got blood dribbling down her face, and the next thing you know, you see this girl. She's got blood all over her. And then it goes on to tell you what these are. These are ghouls in the building. I repeat, there are ghouls in the building. Then after traveling down, and then you just see this girl, and she's absolutely just destroying all these people. She's just eating these people, and she's like, give me more, and she's wanting their blood. And there's like all these dead bodies like in a pile, and she's just there like eating those. I tell you, this is a horror anime and a dark fantasy. So if you don't like blood, don't watch further on. So this guy basically just turns up out of nowhere and says, I've got orders to literally take you down. And this guy's pretty like sick. You see it like straight off the bat. He's like, maybe I should take a finger or two. And you can tell this guy's got like ratchets in his hand, and he's like, oh my god, okay, I'm going to take this girl's fingers. So you think, holy shit. And this guy just flies to her, and this girl, she just like disappears. Somehow disappears and nicks this guy's like, I don't know, I want to say ratchet thing, whatever it is that you use to like, I don't know, clamp something, and she just disappears out of nowhere. But she did it that quick, so it obviously shows you that this girl, you know, she's strong, she's powerful, she's fast on her feet. And then next thing you know, she just throws it away and, you know, says, I'm not playing with you, and then it goes onto the title screen. So straight off from the bat, you know, it shows you these ghouls, and they've got these things coming out of their backs, so you don't know what's really happening, because this is literally within the first like minute of the anime, and you're like, oh shit, okay, let me just sit back and let me take a seat, because I need to know what's going off here. So after that dramatic scene, it takes you into another scene to like showing you this girl walking down the street, and basically takes you to this coffee shop where we meet the first main character, Ken Kaneki. And he's having a good old chat with his friend, you know, he's talking about going out on a first date. He can't believe, they say to it, they're just literally having a laugh, you know, saying, I can't believe you're taking this girl as your first date to a bookstore, and all this stuff. It's pretty much just like a normal scene, and they're in a coffee shop. Now, what you don't realize is this coffee shop is more than what you think. You seem to realize this when you start to know the anime, but this coffee shop is more to what you think of this coffee shop. It's not a normal coffee shop. I will tell you that now, it is not a normal coffee shop. So we learn that Ken Kaneki and Hide, or Hyde, as his name really sounds, but he's pronounced as Hide, are just having a chat, like I said, in the coffee shop. The next thing you know, the other character, Rize, I want to say her name is Rize Kamishiro, Kamishiro. I really suck at pronouncing Japanese names, so I'm really sorry about that. But Rize comes into the coffee shop, and you know, Ken Kaneki's like, she's the one. She's the one. And then Hide's like, alright, since you're love lost, I'm gonna get up out of here. So basically he leaves, and Ken Kaneki is one of these guys, you know, that he seems to be just like your normal average student kid. And, you know, not really good with the girls. That's what it pretty much looks like to me, like, when I first saw it. And then he's baffled because he looks over at Rize, and she's reading the same book as Kaneki is. And he's really, you know, he's baffled. He's like, oh, we have so much in common. Basically, that's how it looks to me, you know, that's how he feels at the minute. So moving on to the next scene, it shows you a scene where, you know, where these ghouls have been attacked, these humans, and, you know, it's telling you that, saying that basically ghouls can eat a human and be full for a month. But there's difference between a normal ghoul and a binge-eating ghoul. Basically, these binge-eating ghouls will just eat anything in sight. Like, they don't have to eat just one to keep them, like, filled for the month. They'll just keep eating anything that they run into. Moving on, these two now, Ken Kaneki and Rize, they go out for a date kind of thing. They go for like a meal. And Ken Kaneki, they're both just basically talking about why they like the novelist, you know, why they so much adore him. And the date's going pretty good. They're pretty happy about it. The next thing you know, the date's over, and she's absolutely terrified of walking home. But you don't know this Rize. You've only seen like slight glimpse of her like in the first like 2 minutes of the anime, when all that was going off with eating all those humans. But Ken Kanedi's got no idea that this is that girl that's been doing this. And you don't really get to see that much of her, so you can't really make out her face look like an ultimate point. But you can kind of think that, you know, this is the same woman that was eating all those humans, and she's definitely going to be a ghoul. So now you're like, alright, so he's going on a date with a ghoul. Alright, let me get that straight. So Kaneki offers to walk Rize home, and they're basically just having a nice little chat on their way home, you know, telling each other about their past and stuff, you know, what interested them in novels and stuff like that. And there comes to a scene where, you know, she says, oh, I live down this way. And now we see the same girl from the coffee shop, you know. We see the same girl from the coffee shop, and she just randomly has to be there, and she stops. And she looks at Kaneki and Rize, and she's like, you know, she's with her friend, and she says, yo, what's the matter? And she's like, nothing. So, why would she be there? You know, out of all the places, she happened to be there. They're walking down like a dark alley. Why was she there? That's the question you got to be thinking to yourself. That's exactly what I was asking myself, you know, why is she there? So they've come down to this dark alleyway, and she's like, you know, she's just walking, and Kaneki's like, yo, Rize, I really like you. Is there a chance we can see each other again? And she's like, so we share the same interests in everything, like books, and I too have fallen head over heels for you. And Kaneki's like smiling, he's so happy because she's really close to him, she's like hugging him. The next thing you know, this bitch just takes a bite out of his shoulder, like straight up from like a zombie apocalypse. She just bites this man's shoulder, and he's like, oh my days, what the fuck is actually going on here? So now, after she's taken the biggest bite out of that guy, she basically starts saying, I want you, you know, I'm gonna eat you, I'm gonna enjoy devouring your insides. And Kaneki's trying to get away from her, he's running about. She's basically just toying with him, throwing him about, doing all this stuff because she's a ghoul. And the next thing you know, they come to like this construction site, and she thinks he's already dead after she's like stabbed him with her like ghoul things coming out of her back. You don't know what these are at the minute, but basically we'll just call them ghoul things for now. She stabbed him through his back, and he's just like, she thinks he's dead already, but I think he's still alive, just like barely, just still alive. And the next thing you know, these construction, like, I want to say girders just come down and just destroy Rize, and she's like, why did this happen? So now this has happened, you know, Kaneki needs blood, he needs organs because they're all failing. Basically, Rize just destroyed most of his organs, and they end up replacing Rize's organs with Kaneki. So the stuff that was still, you know, functioning in her body, they basically ripped them out of her and put them in Kaneki because Kaneki was still alive. So now she was a ghoul, Kaneki wasn't. He's got the ghoul's organs inside of her, and then this next thing you know, Kaneki wakes up with one of his eyes the exact same of a ghoul's eyes. So finally Kaneki gets discharged from the hospital and he walks home. He's just going on about the time he spent with Rize. It just feels like a dream. He comes home and Hide has left some food for him and pretty much just says come back to school when you're feeling up to it. And the next scene takes you on to where there is like an interview with like a doctor or like a scientist that knows a lot about ghouls, and he's saying, you know, that ghouls only need to get their nutrition from humans. So if they try to eat anything that's not human, organs or anything like that, like hamburgers or food like that, they'll get a horrible aftertaste in their mouth. Now Kaneki's looking at the screen right now and he's thinking, what? So now Kaneki's freaking out. He doesn't know what to do. He runs over to the bag that Hide left the food for, and he's like looking at this hamburger, and he tries to eat this hamburger, but he runs straight to the toilet and he's throwing up. He's trying to eat all these different types of food and he's just throwing them back up. He's trying to drink water and he's just bringing all that back up, and he honestly does not know what's happening. He's absolutely freaking out. He must be thinking, oh, am I a ghoul too? Right, so he basically can't eat anything now, so he goes out for a walk and goes into like the main city, and all these people are walking past him and he's looking at them. He's like, boy, family, all these people, flesh, I need flesh, and you know, this is just going through his mind because he's got all these ghouls' organs inside of him, so the only thing he can really eat is humans. So he doesn't know what to do. He runs back to his house and he's just looking at himself in the mirror, and he honestly doesn't know who he is. So he's looking at himself in the mirror, and the next thing you know, his ghoul eye shows up and he sees Rize in the back of him. He ends up smashing the mirror, and it tells you that blades like such as knives and stuff cannot affect these ghouls. So he runs into the kitchen, picks out the biggest knife he's got, and he's like, if that's true, then this should break. And he goes to stab himself in the stomach and the knife just breaks in half, and he's just laying on the floor. He doesn't know what to do. He's crying. Literally his whole world has just changed like that and just gone to shit basically. Now Kaneki doesn't know what to do. He runs out of the house and he can smell something. He's basically like, oh, I can smell something that smells delicious, and he ends up running into a ghoul by the name of Kenzo, I think he's called. I do really need to pronounce that, I don't know. Kenzo, and he's like, yo, I can share this with you, but I can't share a lot because I've not eaten in quite a while. And this next thing you know, this guy just comes out of nowhere and just boots him in the head and saying, what are you doing around my hunting grounds? Now this ghoul is about to just destroy Kaneki, and Toko, the girl who worked in the coffee shop who I said before, just shows up, and turns out she's a ghoul too. So she's about to help out rescue Kaneki. So the other ghoul basically just turns and walks away, and then she's like looking at Kaneki and she's like, oh, you're the one who was with Rize. And she's telling him that she's a ghoul, basically he's a ghoul, and he's trying to convince her that he's still human because he's only basically just realized and found out that he's a ghoul. But he's like, no, I'm still human. And she's looking at him and she sees that he's only got one eye, and she's like, that eye. And then she tries to feed him some of the food because he basically needs this food to stay alive. And then the credits come on. And basically that's the end of that episode. So it basically just shows you what this anime is about. And it's one of those, you either like it or you hate it straight off the bat, like I said. But I absolutely enjoyed it. I thought it was a really nice anime. It was a really decent anime. I definitely recommend going ahead and checking it out. Like I said, there will be links down below in the description. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this week's What's That Anime. Go ahead and vote for your next week's. Leave a comment down below. Pretty much, we'll just go over and see what you guys want to see for next week's. But like I said, if you did enjoy, be sure to go ahead and drop a like, because it's greatly appreciated. For me, I've been Feynitax. Thank you so much for sticking around. And until next time, guys, I'm out. Peace.